Welcome back to Pixels and Pints, where we're going to talk some independent beers. I'm not calling them craft beers. I'm going to call them independent beers from All Australian. Tom?
Yes.
Yes, All Australian. So obviously here tonight I'm joined by Tom.
Hello.
And Peter.
Hello.
And we'll just be talking pop culture, beer, and just general crap.
Yeah. I mean, if you're tuning in for the very first time.
Oh, and videoing.
And videoing.
And I had to notice it before, but I thought I would wait to mention it. I love the strategic position of what is not on camera.
I thought they were punishment. Like if you said anything really wrong, you have to get down on one knee and neck a Ted.
So I'm just going to turn this
we need a
mobile camera around to look at what the fuck we're talking about. See, we've got video evidence now.
Oop, almost dropped the new camera.
Yeah, that's all right.
They bounce, don't they?
Well, they're supposed to be like bulletproof, aren't they? Oh, look, and we've started a podcast episode, and you can tell because one of the two cats is taking a shit.
Yep.
We could always have a beer bong in the background, and just that could be punishment for it. So anyway, Tom, first up, this is an exciting new one.
This is an exciting beer. Oh, it's a storied beer.
Talk into the microphone while you tell the story, please.
Oh, right. So this beer, this was my bar, Uncle Hops in Newtown, where we've done recordings before. Is reopening for the first time since COVID lockdown, which is going to be...
Excellent news.
Yes, it's the beginning of October when we're recording this. So first weekend in October, the long weekend. But the beer that I have in my hand is our collab that the ladies of the Bank Hotel and Uncle Hops went and made with Jemima, who's one of the brewers at Batch. And they made a beer called Aunty Hops. Well, that was like the loose title for it.
That's cute.
The actual name of it is a berry salty bush.
Less cute.
Because it is a cranberry, grapefruit, and saltbush Gose.
Okay.
The sad part of the story of this beer is we first launched this beer the day that we had to cancel all our staff shifts as we were locking down. So this was the beer we locked down with, and now it's the beer we're reopening with. So I'm kind of loosely calling it
salty time anyway.
Well, it's kind of my denial beer, because it's going back on tap. It's like nothing ever happened.
Yep.
We were fine. Cool. Yeah, just
Yep.
ignore that time.
Nice.
I think that's got a nice symmetry to it, though. Yeah.
Yeah, and so I've been working at Batch as well, and the brewers very kindly offered to rebrew it for our relaunch. Jemima brewed it again.
Cool.
I tasted some of the salt bush. Funnily enough, it is a salty
bush.
Salty bush. It's literally like a salt leaf.
Yeah, cool.
And is it?
Can you hold it up to the camera so
just-
they can see the can?
Maybe closer on the other side of the cord.
Thank you.
Is the salt bush like have salt on the outside of it, or it's just like in the leaf?
No, I think it was on the outside of the leaf. Like, because
Okay.
I just got given, one of the brewers gave me a leaf to try.
Yep.
And he's just like, just eat it. And I was like, okay. That's
is
a
like-
dangerous game to play.
That's like getting people to try hop pellets and
Yeah.
like hop resin and things like that. Yep.
But it had like, it's quite rough, the texture of the leaf, but it looks like it's got
Yeah.
little grains of salt on it.
I know what they look like. That's why I was
Yeah.
wondering whether they had
Tiny
it
little,
look like on
green
the
leaves.
outside. Yeah, nice.
But the amount of cranberries that went into this one though, and they macerated half of them, so the color is
Yeah,
spectacular.
nice.
I had to do a test pour on the taps today before I left work.
Oh well, good time for a first video recording with a nice coloured product.
These glasses.
There's probably some hygiene items that I should cover off with the podcast, actually. That looks really good. Before we get stuck into the first topic, I think this is the new marker button.
That'll do me too because I've got to drive. Again.
And it's 4.7% as well.
Okay, so it's pretty
that's good.
sessionable.
Oh,
yeah,
that's good. Yep. Excellent.
So for the podcast generally, you'll see some shit is changing at the moment.
I thought I'd give Pete a bigger one because I've got 2 kegs of it at work.
Thank you. So we have just released new artwork for the podcast to add Tom.
Can we just turn that camera a little bit because it's really disconcerting being able to see myself. Oh, no, it's all right. The screen's gone out. It's all good.
The goal is to pretend it's not there. Yeah, so we've added.
So don't look directly into it and drink.
We've added
It's
Tom.
the taste of a new generation.
We've added Tom to the artwork, which is cool.
Cheers. Well done on...
Cheers.
Well, it's good that
Just as I turn the camera around.
it's good that Uncle Hops is reopening.
Yeah.
Everything's-
My baby's back.
Getting to Bit of a return. So we're talking about, I think yesterday Gladys was talking about lifting some more restrictions after school holidays on hospitality, which is freaking excellent.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
Some of the borders are slowly reopening to selected peoples, which is great.
That's really good, by the way. That's excellent.
It's funny. I mean, a Gose is supposed to have a strong saltiness to it, but it's almost mouth-puckeringly salty in a good way.
But it's not sea salty.
No.
It's a little bit more organic and smooth. I know it's a bit of a silly way to talk about salt, but it's just.
I know what you mean, though.
It's kind of.
It doesn't hit the back of your throat; it hits the palate, but.
Exactly. That's exactly a very good description of it. And it's through the whole body of it. A lot of the Goses, you get it at the end. This seems to be you get the salt, nice soft salt all the way through rather than just it sort of lingering at the end after you've swallowed the liquid.
It's very tasty. You do.
Everything's really well in balance too.
And
Cranberries and sour and she's on record now.
Yes, it's good. And the great thing is it's nice. It's the first collab we've done for the bar that I've had nothing to do with other than going, cool, I want to do it with this brewery and just push them out the door. So they have full creative control.
Yeah.
All the girls, and this is the flavors they wanted, and it came out beautiful.
Yeah.
It really does. Yeah. I could see myself downing a 6-pack of those in one sitting.
We've done a cranberry sour before, and it's great. I really
You called
love
it
that
sauce, did you not?
Cranberry sauce.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did the original one with the KB Hotel in Surrey Hills. That was he wanted to do a Thanksgiving, Christmas. So he wanted to
Makes
do
perfect sense,
cranberry sauce, and then we did it again the following year, and they bought some more kegs off us.
I think I liked it so much that's the first time I bought a.
Actually, I think you were going up and getting growlers of it or something.
Yes, I bought a growler jug just for the sauce, and I ended up with 2 or 3 in a row, I think.
So that's a really similar colour and everything too. I like it. It's really nice. It presents really well and tastes excellent. So good job everybody involved. So
so I was going to say just some housekeeping for the podcast. So there's lots of changes coming up that you'll see unfold over the next few episodes. Jesus, I shouldn't have had that starter beer.
Should have eaten lunch.
So we're adding video, obviously. So if you have access to a computer in 3 hours, then watch us on YouTube instead of listen to us in the car.
Holy shit! You're not going to put the whole thing up on?
Yes,
the whole video. Not even unedited. Just
I'm going to edit it, obviously, but every episode will be videoed now from now on and released to YouTube in addition to iTunes. We're on Google. We're on fucking everything, I think, now, other than Stitcher, because I don't like Stitcher.
They're on the internets.
We're on the internet, so
all over the airwaves.
Google.
Look at you, you're really in your element with that.
Loves it,
and they're coming around the first bend.
We're obviously fucking around with some new intro music. There will be a new intro track coming soon. It was, the last one was brilliant, and it served us well for 2.5 odd seasons. But
did you ever have the thing? I had a few things when I wasn't on an episode where I thought I was downloading it, but I'd accidentally press start and I had my headphones on, and all of a sudden it's just like
a little bit.
Ooh, I was like, oh crap, Jesus Christ! There we go, we're awake.
It is very in your face, and as much as I love it, and obviously Dan more than me, are into our metal. I have had some feedback from some listeners that don't like metal, that it's quite hard to get past that because it's the first 30 seconds of every episode, right? So if you hate metal, it's a good reason to switch off without ever hearing us. So we'll still do something metally, just maybe a little less oomph in the first fucking bar.
Yeah.
Not a fly kick to the face, maybe like a subtle stroking of the cheek.
And we've got some events planned. We've got some on-location recordings. We've got some video content we're going to put together, and a bunch of other stuff.
Some guests, some call-ins, all planned. So
this apparently our podcast recording studio has the capability to have high-definition phone calls come into the show, but I've never tested it, so it just means we've got some mates down in Melbourne. We've got a couple up in Queensland that probably want to join us. Certainly one down in Melbourne that would love to join us. So having them call in would be cool.
Yeah, that'd be heaps fun.
Yeah.
Anyway, first topic.
I can go.
Go.
Good. I don't know. Have either of you guys seen the James Cameron science fiction thing that's on SBS?
What's it called?
Over the last few, I think it's literally just called James Cameron Science Fiction.
I've heard about it, but I
like
haven't.
a documentary or a miniseries?
Yeah. So what it is, James Cameron runs it. Obviously, famous director James Cameron of Avatar and Terminator and Aliens.
Fucking Linda
and,
Hamilton and
yeah,
where it was
too.
for a while.
Yeah. Well, she gets spoken about in it in a very nice way. I don't know what their relationship.
I was wondering where you were going with that.
I don't know how their relationship ended.
She was doing the chin ups in the mental house.
So it's separated into they talk about specific. I think it's like 8 episodes, and they separate it out into specific topics.
Yeah,
and then he talks to George Lucas, Steven Spielberg, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Keanu Reeves, and a whole bunch of writers on science fiction. And a bunch of other people, other filmmakers, other directors, other actors, and it's great. And so they do aliens, intelligent machines, monsters, time travel, space itself, and a couple of other.
So they're
bits and
talking
pieces.
about the science and reality behind.
More so the filmmaking and
Okay.
why these directors chose these stories and how they portrayed certain things on screen.
Okay.
They talk a lot about 2001: A Space Odyssey because obviously that covers space travel and
boringness.
Oh, Space Odyssey's
45-minute ship flybys and
But it's a perfect parabola arc. So come on, give them some credit.
I'll get to one of the hyperdrive scene in 2001 in a sec.
Yeah.
But it covers all those, and it's really fantastic to listen to the other directors and the other actors about where their mindset was. Schwarzenegger actually went into Terminator for the Kyle Reese role.
yes.
And he started to talk to James Cameron about, look.
And by the way, I wish I could remember his name, but Bishop from Aliens originally
for the Lance Henriksen.
No, he originally went in as Terminator.
Lance Henriksen is the actor, Peter.
Sorry.
Yes, he was originally Terminator, but he ended up being the cop.
Yeah, he was attempting to gain the Terminator role. Yeah, and he was talking about being like a mantis insectoid sort of robot thing. So glad they didn't go that direction.
Yeah. Arnie wanted to just keep playing the hero.
Yeah, right.
So, but then he was telling James Cameron, well, the guy that plays the Terminator needs to be deadpanned and not show any emotion, not give any inkling that he's a human playing a machine.
Yep.
Has to be machine 100% all the time. And then at the end of the interview, he's gone, fuck, like I just talked myself out of the hero role into the baddie role, but which obviously did fantastic things for him and his career. But that was just one little thing. And then George Lucas talks about, as much as a knob he kind of is, he created obviously something that is an enormous or probably the biggest influence in my life.
In all our lives, I would say.
It's great to talk to. Steven Spielberg's super interesting. Obviously, the other actors and like the writers that have written books and papers and everything, all on sci-fi and everything.
Does Lucas talk about one of my favorite things? Lucas talks about I think it was on the VHS special edition for Empire, of how they decided what like the technical side of filming Hoth originally.
No,
have you ever seen that?
No,
because everything was done on a blue screen.
Yes.
And it was like the trouble of filming the white background on a blue screen, like it
didn't that result in them inventing the green screen?
Pretty much.
Oh,
I do remember seeing that.
Sure.
It's so cool. Cat
podcast cat extreme close up.
I just thought that might have been something that came up. Oh.
See, leave
Must
the camera,
be a wet
Pete.
cat.
Yeah, Pete, leave the camera.
It's the wrong kind of wet pussy.
Too many chords.
It's all on SBS On Demand. They're hour-long episodes. It's fantastic. Just watch it. It's super interesting. You never get bored of it, and it actually, when you're getting in, it flows so well that you don't actually realize when they change topic within the episode. It's all about the one thing. But they'll be talking Terminator, and then they'll mold into 2001: A Space Odyssey, and then they'll mold into Terminator 2, and then they'll go
so it's
across
not abruptly
to the
episodic.
Matrix. No, it's kind of it's very well segued. So they'll talk about one thing that will just literally flow into the next movie, and then they'll just keip going. And it's so well filmed and edited. And James Cameron, as much as he doesn't need to make 4 more Avatar movies,
he's not making them because he needs to. He's making them because that's his opus. Right?
Yeah, and it kind of puts me off a little bit, but yeah.
What do you mean?
It doesn't need to be 4.
No, it doesn't
But
need to be 4.
no.
But like I said, it's his magnum opus
Yeah.
is the correct term. I needed to say that.
If he does it well, and I have even just watching this and seeing him just interact with his peers, he seems like a genuinely nice guy.
Yeah.
Like he wants to sit there and chat
He
to people
always
about
has.
these things that he loves. So.
I haven't agreed with everything that's come out of his mouth in interviews. and
Well, I'm sure. I think he said some dumb things
there was an
recently.
Academy Awards for, I think it was Titanic, that he was a bit of a cock about because he didn't win something that he wanted to win. I don't know. I've got vague memories of him just being a dick. But he's a visionary fucking director, and he was one of the best directors in his heyday there was. He did Terminator 2.
Oh, he talks to Ridley Scott a lot as well.
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
Obviously, because he did Aliens with him.
Yeah, and like Blade Runner falls into the intelligent machine side of it.
Yep.
And just the overall Ridley Scott look on things. He's
But
a bit of an old white man as well, but he's still a very good visionary.
Yeah, right.
If you look at the time, so the early 90s, the only successful sequels released in a whole 5-year period were James Cameron sequels. So Alien to Aliens,
Yeah.
Terminator to Terminator 2 were pretty much the most successful sequel movies in a raft of horrible, horrible sequels to other random shit. So
Yeah.
guy knew what he was doing.
And technology advances.
Well, Titanic, he literally invented
Yeah.
automated or drone submarines or some shit or some deep sea submarine and went down to see the Titanic.
T-1000, the liquid metal.
Yep.
Like all CG animation. The quick 2001: A Space Odyssey. The Corridor crew guys talk about how they filmed that hyperdrive sequence. You've seen the Technicolor hyperdrive sequence.
Yep.
It was a curtain moving behind a slot in a black sheet, and they had to roll the camera up to it. It took something like 3 weeks to film this section because every time they moved the camera forward, it was 1 second. So they had to then bring the camera back. And then
Back in the old days when shit was physical, right?
It was all physical.
So that opening sequence of the ridiculously long ship was a model.
Yeah.
I can't imagine how big that fucking thing was because
I think they actually talk about it on there with
because
George
there is
Lucas.
a certain scale. I mean, and they did. George Lucas talked a lot about it in some of the behind the scenes footage of filming Star Wars back when it was still called Star Wars, not A New Hope, and Empire. That you can only make scale models so small for 35mm film before they don't look real anymore. Yeah. So the ships the X-Wing is 30 inches long or wide. They're not small.
No.
The Star Destroyers were massive. I want one.
Seeing the behind the scenes like shots you see of the prop guys, and you're just like,
you have the bestest job ever.
That's so good.
Speaking of SBS, I don't think I talked about it last episode, and I'm kind of surprised that I didn't because we gobbled it up. SBS has War of the Worlds.
Yep, with Gabriel Byrne.
I didn't talk about it on the episode though, did I?
You mentioned it in passing, or it got mentioned at some other stage?
Okay. It's one of the best original but not original TV series as I've seen in a long damn time. So I've always found the original War of the Worlds was just a cult classic. James L. Jones doing the voiceover?
Orson Welles.
I know who wrote it, but who did the voiceover in the movie?
And the Tom Cruise one was Morgan Freeman.
No, the original.
Oh, the black and white original.
Maybe I'm misremembering. I thought it was James L. Jones. It might even make me racist. I don't know.
For you.
I'll never forget that video footage of someone talking to Morgan Freeman and mixing up who he was as a black actor. The remake I really thoroughly enjoyed with Tom Cruise in it, except because it had that fucking holy shitbags Batman, there's nothing you can do to get away from these things. Yeah. It was genuine, a fearful movie, but such a piss weak ending. And it was a true to original telling piss weak ending that the bacteria killed the aliens, so don't worry. They were absolutely annihilating us, but the bacteria got them, so chill.
I was always about the rock opera.
What?
Rock opera?
There's a rock opera.
Really? A War of the Worlds rock opera?
Yeah.
Was it War of the Worlds that was originally told on the radio as a joke and everyone took it seriously?
They took it seriously. They thought it was an actual broadcast. Yeah, no.
It wasn't War of the Triffids or Day of the Triffids. That was the other one that came out around the same time.
It's Alfred Hitchcock.
Yeah, but there's this 1970s prog rock opera.
Fucking hell.
It's epic, yeah.
I am certain that I've heard that on vinyl when I was growing up.
You probably would have, yeah.
Because my mum had a shitload of vinyl.
It's narrated. It's by this English guy, and so there's this really calm, soft English voice, and he's just like, "I must get back to London. Gary. It's just we somehow discovered it when we were like in high school, like in music class, and it became like our favorite thing.
That my mum used to listen to that.
Yeah, probably
that on vinyl. So War of the Worlds on SBS is a BBC. I'm fairly certain it's BBC. It's an English 6-part miniseries, and it's season 1, and they've extended the story. So for the first time I've ever seen a War of the Worlds series loosely based on the original, aliens invade Earth, but done in a manner that is realistic in the sense that no one knows what the fucking aliens are doing there.
Yeah.
But you don't get instructions as to why they're here, which happens in so many fucking movies. Independence Day, they instantly know somehow why they're there. They're massively powerful and there's not much you can do about it. There's some weird connection between a couple of the people in the series and the aliens.
I don't think it was James L. Jones, but I'm still looking.
Just abandon the plot. It's all good. I've obviously gotten it wrong. And interesting, like it was a 6-part miniseries. They covered a lot of ground.
Yeah.
If you remember the episode from Broken Mirror?
Black Mirror.
Black Mirror, thank you. With the robotic dogs that was filmed in black and white.
Yep.
So the aliens in War of the Worlds are robotic dogs that are very, very similar, but fucking creepy and scary.
Yeah, right.
But they go to explain the aliens from a scientific perspective in a realistic way. One of the guys is a neurobiologist and pulls apart one of the aliens and one of the killed aliens. And really fucking interesting. Ends with a cliffhanger. Can't wait to see the second season. And it's free to air if you download the SBS app for Apple TV or whatever else you've got that plays
You
the
fucking
SBS
get it on
app.
pretty much everything except the PlayStation because they took it off there for some reason.
Brilliant and well worth watching. And doesn't take up that much time. 6 episodes. Like it's fucking easy to eat in a couple of days.
Short, punchy. Yeah, hour-long episodes.
It's one of those ones that makes you think.
Goods.
Yeah.
Yeah. And one of those series that gives you the
Probably why I haven't
creeps
seen any
after
of
you've finished
on
it.
the PlayStation. So, yeah.
Probably.
We get it through the TV because they took it off the PlayStation. But
I might grab the next beer.
Yeah.
Hang on.
Yeah, well, they took it off the PlayStation. We were watching Vikings through it, and so we had to find it on the TV, which is good. So I was running it through the laptop into the TV at times, but fuck it, it's on there now. So
Is that beer cold enough?
oh, it'll be cold enough.
It'll
Just
do.
Crack it open.
So I'd never actually heard of this brewery before, Burnley Brewing. I don't know if you've heard of them.
No,
Sorry,
no.
I'll talk into the mic before I get yelled at.
He didn't have his headphones on, so you got away with that one.
Nah.
Talking to the mic.
He knows. But the beers I bought today brought to us by the Union Hotel in Newtown.
Nice.
Thank you, Lukey boy. His suggestions.
Thank you.
But yeah, Burnley Brewing. He did a whole tap and can takeover with them, and I'd never heard of them before. But they're from Burnley in Melbourne, Victoria.
Yeah, cool.
I would never have guessed.
No. It's
I'd
probably
never heard of the suburb.
no.
Oh, okay.
No.
Sorry.
You had, obviously. Yep. No.
But it's one of the few. The reason I grabbed this one was because I was looking at the can. Can's quite nice. This is the can, little camera. I don't know if you can see that.
You can see
Sure
it.
it can.
Okay. But it has on the
Sees
back,
everything.
instead of, it has the ABV, it has the IBU, and then also has the Plato.
Oh, okay.
The what now?
Fucking Plato. Plato is a measurement of, well, we use specific gravity in our brewery, but it's just a measure of the sugars.
Right.
The
Okay.
density of the liquid. So you're
Right.
starting gravity
Yep.
or starting Plato, ending gravity, ending Plato.
Yep.
It's just how you work
Oh,
out.
Christ
alcohol.
almighty.
Yeah, wow,
Holy
what a colour. Fuck. We go from
It's like a Ribena.
light reddy pink to a dark maroni. Wow, it looks like a red wine.
Yeah, it really does.
what
Stains
is
like
the-
blood. Stains like blood.
4.2. That's good.
I did see the October.
Do you want some more, Tom?
Well, I was letting.
Wow.
I just wanted to pour. You go first.
No, just
What did you actually say it was?
blood in a can.
Blackcurrant.
Yeah.
Blackcurrant Gose. But it's kind of fitting. I don't know if you saw the free PlayStation games this month. One of them is that Vampyre game I think you were talking about.
Which one?
The Masquerade?
It's just called Vampyre. It's set in like turn of the century. Oh no, post World War I London.
Even the fucking
Oh,
head.
Vampire with a Y.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
I didn't mind it. It was made by an indie developer. It's quite in depth, but you gotta want to talk to people. It's a very
I read a review of it today. It said that.
It's a very, very talky, and because you can kill anybody. So it's got a really good premise for being an RPG. You can drink anybody's blood, any NPC's character's blood, to kill them, but that will adversely affect most of the time the social environment.
Right.
But it's the fastest way to get XP to increase your character's
I
strength.
think you've talked about this before,
Yeah,
actually.
I think I probably have. It was good. I really enjoyed it. It's not a perfect game by any long shot.
Yeah, I've heard the combat's pretty shit.
It's pretty just average. It's fine. It's got some cool aspects to it. The voice acting is very good for always having to be talky to people. It's interesting. It's got some interesting themes to it. I'm sure there's been some updates since I've played it, so especially if it's gone free to play, it's
Okay.
I mean, if you've got time, and there's so much coming out over the next 2 months. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, there's a whole new system coming out in the next couple of months.
Squadrons releases in 2 days.
Yeah, I know.
We have to talk about this beer before we get on to that, though, because
it's a nice step up in different berry characters to the last one.
it's fucking hardcore mouth-puckering sour, too. I'm assuming it's still a kettle, though. Oh, it'd have to be. It's a Gose.
I get more of that salt.
It doesn't have to be.
More of that salt on the back that you were talking about, though, in this one.
Yeah.
As opposed to
it's-
barrel-aged? It's not going to be a barrel-aged Gose.
Oh, no, it's soured mash.
Yeah, okay.
It's probably not. It's probably kettle soured.
It uses water. There you go. Good start. Malted barley,
You have
wheat.
I'm sorry, you have to put the ingredients in order of the the
It might be a
content.
sour mash.
It's very
I'm just
mouth-puckering.
reading how it is on the can.
No, it was a reference to a conversation I was having Dan
see
the
how-
other day. You have to put
Citra hops,
the ingredients in
blackcurrant,
order
and
of how
In
much
your-
of it.
yeah.
That's why shampoo always has aqua first,
Yeah.
because it's mostly water.
Shampoo goes on first.
But it's a very good distinction between the salt bush and the regular
Yeah.
salt. Yeah. It's but it's good. Like I said, it's just like
Fucking
a different berry step to the cranberry. Yeah. It's
Yeah,
nice.
agree.
Yeah.
It's really damn good. It's very sour. I have to admit that I'm struggling to taste any fruit through the sourness.
Oh, there's definitely blackcurrants there.
I just got it on the regurge. Yeah.
What a
Yeah.
lovely word.
Little belch came up the back.
No, nice. It's good. Beautiful colour.
I love
Beautiful
that.
colour.
It's like the beer, the Ribena of beers.
We'll definitely be breaking and washing the glasses out before.
I was going to say, it's interesting because your
Yeah.
glasses are both completely headless.
Yeah, but we didn't glug it into our glasses like you did.
Yeah, well, there's
Let's not get into
quite
that
a big
technical
argument for
crap.
doing it the way that I do
no,
it.
No. We won't get into it.
If you're a Cicerone, please email admin@pixar.
I completely disagree with that. Fuck the Cicerones. Sorry, guys. Sorry,
Yeah, take
my
that,
bad.
Liam, you dick. He's my boss. I shouldn't yell at him.
No, I love
what do you
Liam.
guys know about beer?
Liam and Jonathan and all the other Cicerones. No, they most of them are great guys. I've met one or two that are absolutely douchey, but
We shall name and shame them in the next episode.
no. Thankfully, I didn't remember the douchey ones' names. I really like the other guys. Sorry, John. Sorry, Liam. But I disagree with that. The pouring it into the glass aggressively to knock out all the CO2. It's
And unlock all of the aromas and the flavors.
yeah.
and-
You can be
Just two pour it.
You don't
have
have
to do an aggressive pour. Just two pour it.
That's exactly what I did.
yeah, and you don't have to be super aggressive with
That's
it.
an aggressive two pour.
It wasn't.
Mine was a two pour. Don't see half head in my glass.
Anyway,
You're not working in my bar, boy.
I prefer it that way anyway. It's not like the head was massive. It was just. I just find it releases a lot more of the aromatics. That's all. And I
and
get
makes your beer go flat.
and exactly right. So I suffer from fucking chronic stomach issues.
It's because you drink too many sours.
I fuck off.
And too much coffee.
I usually
It's a
don't.
conversation we were having before you got here.
I usually don't get drunk off beer unless I'm hitting it with a passion. And obviously, you guys have seen me pissed on beer before.
Don't hit it with a passion. Just fucking drink it, man.
But it's usually I.
You keep setting him up, and he's going to keep knocking him down.
Yes, what I was going to say is I usually struggle to get drunk on nights that I want to because I get bloated well before and don't have stomach capacity well before I get pissed. So if I pour it the way that I did, degassing it means that I can fit a lot more beer in. That's the end of my story. It's a cool story. Moving on.
Thank God.
Releases, PlayStation 4. Go.
PlayStation 5.
PlayStation 5. Well, you were
4
talking about
and 5.
all the games that were coming out soon.
When was it?
Yeah, moments before we
that
poured
was
the beer.
that was just an offhand comment. That was yeah. No, there's a couple of there's a what was I watching the other day? But it was this fucking awesome. It was a 2D. It was like a 2.5D cyberpunk one that comes out in October, I think. But
I had a girlfriend once. Never mind. Carry on.
It's 2D from the side-scrolling aspect of walking up streets and everything. But if there's an alley in the background, you can go up the alley in the background, and it changes
kind of three-dimensional.
Yeah, and then it goes 2D sort of the other way.
Yeah, okay.
And
That's kind of cool.
It looked excellent. It really did. I can't remember the name of it to save my life, but I remember seeing.
Is that there's one coming out I was like, oh, okay, that's kind of tiptoeing around like a little bit of IP infringement, but it's called like
Not that we can talk on the fucking podcast, man.
But it was called Cyber World or something.
Yeah, it was close to it.
I think I know the one, and like the image of it is like almost like the neon scape background like that Cyberpunk is, but it's a chick leaning against like a cab or something.
100%, yeah, because it's a female lead.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it would be the same one.
It's called like Cyberworld or something similar to like that. Yeah, I know the one you're talking about.
It's going to be a Xbox Series X and an Xbox One dilemma that people are going to buy this thinking it's Cyberpunk and not getting Cyberpunk. Yeah, so it's going to lean into that.
I've got to say that the rendering difference that so Tom put up a post today, and I might throw it up on the video version. But the re-render of Spider-Man between PS4 and PS5 is mind-blowingly different.
And I'm hoping that, like it says, if you look closely at the image in the corner, like bottom left-hand corner, it does say captured on PS5, like that thing. But like when
he's stuck on the wall, not the change of character,
not the change of character. When he's stuck on the wall in the bottom left-hand corner, I'm pretty sure it's a captured on PS5, but like. I'm hoping that's not just like, you know,
a one-off still frame render.
Like.
But what's the point of posting it? People don't tolerate that sort of bullshit anymore. You get too much bad press.
It just looks fucking amazing.
It does look amazing. I will throw the screen grab up on the video.
The recast to the Tom Holland-esque little face there.
I don't get it. Why do it?
I liked the original guy's face.
Yeah,
like it's kind of suited him as like a slightly older,
and it separated it out from that universe that it's not part of.
I agree.
So, like I said, I thought he was very wooden and boring, but I've said that from the very first trailer. So, yeah,
Tom Holland.
No, the guy who voice acted the
yes, you have said that right from the start.
The first E3 trailer.
It's the same voice actor. They didn't recast the voice, just the face.
I mean,
I'm a bit excited. We haven't had a PlayStation like a device launch for 5 years. Is it 5?
Yeah, maybe
6 or 7.
Yeah,
6 or 7. I think.
I gotta pee. You keep going.
We'll pause. No. I gotta do the same. We'll pause.
You're gonna cross swords. Oh dear.
Cool.
Oh dear.
We're back. And we're going to start with a beer while people think of the topic.
Sorry, I completely cut you off then because I was busting to wee.
No, that's okay.
We were talking about Spider-Man on PS5?
Well, just PlayStation 5 and how excited I am to get a new console. I remember lining up for the PS4 at EB
Can we
Games.
talk about how fucking shit this whole pre-order thing has been? Jesus motherfucking titty Christ.
That might be the name of the episode.
I am pissed.
You guys have been going on about it and I'm completely oblivious to it.
Well, they said that they would give everyone heads up as to when the pre-order opening would start, right?
Yeah.
Which is actually funny because that was what I was originally pissed about. I was originally pissed that I was like, cool, I woke up at like...
Can you multitask? I'm thirsty.
Right. So I woke up, it would have been... You can pour while I talk because I'm going to get ranty. God,
You've been warned, people.
So it went live. What the broadcast was at 6 a.m.
Yep.
And then, but the pre-orders went live on EB Games by about 8 a.m. I woke up at like 9, already sold out, completely gone.
No, it was earlier than that. So I woke up at. I always wake up at 7, and it was sold out by then. So I don't know when they open pre-orders, but... So they had been saying, for Dan's edification, they'd been saying for a while they would give everyone notice as to when they would open...
Which is what Xbox did.
Yeah, they were going to give everyone a week notice as to when they would open pre-orders so that everyone had a fair chance to get on the website. In fact, I got instructions a couple of days prior...
The night before at like 9 p.m, an email came through saying, this is how you
log into your EB World account, make sure that your address is updated, you'll only get one shot at this, sit there and hit refresh, blah, 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 blah. They gave you full instructions, and then the very next day, they just launched without telling anyone.
Which I've seen a bunch of people online saying, well, that was your instructions that's going live tomorrow. Like, you should have read... Yeah, but that's the thing.
You should have read between the lines and worked out. Yeah.
But I was out drinking the night before, so that's no one's fault. The problem is,
did they give you a time, or they just said no? They just said get online.
They said
doing
the
it soon.
PlayStation. The PStation Live thing is tomorrow.
Don't worry about your everyday jobs and everybody who's trying to keep their jobs in a world pandemic at the moment.
Yeah.
Just jump online and click refresh.
And hit F5.
Since the Xbox went live though in pre-orders, and that was also a total clusterfuck because people have
bought the wrong PlayStation, the wrong Xbox.
Bought the wrong Xbox because they sound so fucking similar.
So what are the two names? Xbox
Series X
and the Xbox One X is the current one.
It's like
so
the PlayStation
fucked.
Pro is the Xbox One X.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the new one is the Xbox X.
Series
What
X.
was it? It was the Xbox One X, which is the current model.
Yep.
They had a 750% jump in sales because people were pre-ordering the wrong thing.
Yeah, because they've got jumped on there and they've gone, oh, fuck, this is cheap. Get that one.
Yeah. So,
but you have to admit that
this
is
was half the
fucking
problem.
Shady marketing.
It is, but it's pretty funny.
The amount of people
Only because we're not Xbox fans.
Well, yeah, but the amount of people who tried to log on to get an Xbox when they knew the time, they knew the date, but all these people who run these reselling websites who get on there with a bot that buys faster than you can ever refresh the page.
Yeah.
And they're just
obviously they have to create one account per order too because they're all limited to a maximum of one per person.
So I don't know now if like I've looked at both my orders because I panicked obviously after I woke up and I was like, crap, they're gone. All right, next jumped on JB, placed an order I think, and then I jumped on Amazon and placed an order. So I don't know which one or either of them if they're going to rock up on time.
Yeah, because none of them are guaranteed. So I placed a pre-order with JB, but they warned you that they're not doing any guarantees.
Yeah.
But you're in a queue, basically. You paid a $50 deposit to sit in a queue, and they'll allocate based on how many they get.
Yeah.
Fair cop.
Yeah.
But I just remember, like, when I got the PS4, never had this issue. I think
I think you're wrong.
No?
Well, I mean, maybe you ordered through EB.
I did order through EB.
Right.
But I was able to stroll into a store, like, a couple of hours after they went online, and I was just, like, strolled in, was like, can I place an order for PS4? Like, of course, man. Come on in. Would you like a massage with this? Like they didn't do that. They're EB games.
Yeah. They took the money out of your wallet while they were saying yes.
They asked me to trade something, and then they gave me like $1 for it.
Yeah. No, they were putting their hands in your pocket to pull your wallet out while they were talking to you.
And this was while I was working for them as well. So, I can say that. But yeah, it just seems like, I don't know, just absolute clusterfuck.
PS4, exactly the same for me as PS5. I put my $50 to sit in the queue, put my $50 down to sit in the queue, and I got a release evening. It was 11:59. We had to queue up or some shit. Standing in the queue waiting for the PlayStation 4. I remember being excited and also embarrassed that I was 33 or something at the time.
Well, now you're going to be 40. No, not quite. But.
Fuck you, Dan. And I was standing in the queue talking to other people that had never heard of deodorant.
Yeah, that's fair.
So it's like being at like a World of Warcraft convention, a BlizzCon, where they did literally hand out small cans of Axe deodorant, which is the American version of Lynx.
Probably the sponsored one too.
Yeah.
Anyway, Axe Africa.
What are we drinking?
This is Mountain Culture. This is one of the this brewery's just kind of exploded in terms of their popularity in the.
Everyone likes a bit of MSG.
Everyone loves a bit of MSG.
It actually says contains lactose, but not MSG in brackets on the back.
Cool. So this is the new brewery from DJ, who used to be the original brewer for Modus.
Yep. Cool.
So this is up in Katoomba.
Katoomba.
And I think they opened the brewery they started producing beers just before COVID hit, and then they started churning them out.
Poor bastards.
Oh, don't. There's no poor bastards and mountain culture in the same sentence.
No. They sell out everything. They're like now the new goes live at 12 p.m. and it's sold out by 12:01.
Yeah, can't get them online.
So who did you have to blow to get the beer?
Where do I start? There was a whole line. It was like a conga line of blowing people to get this beer. No. I'm Luke, who runs the union. He's a good mate of mine. And they did a mountain culture event. So he was lucky enough to get a couple of 4-packs.
Yeah, cool.
Set aside when he placed his next order because they carry the core range.
Yep.
And their core range is phenomenal as well if you can get your hands on it. Like
mountain culture stuff. Oh, yeah. Their lager's excellent.
Yeah.
Just for their core range.
Well, he's brought back the double red, which is very similar to the old former Tenant, but it's improved. Like, it's insanely good.
Oh, the former Tenant's never been as good as when he was doing it.
Oh, no. But that's what you get. You get mountain culture double red now, and it's just like, the heyday. So he was lucky enough to get a couple of 4-packs, and I bought the 2 cans off him. So I've had this before, but I thought I would save one to share with you boys.
So this is MSG
Oat Cream IPA.
I hate the name Oat Cream.
Oat Cream.
I think it's completely wanky. Sorry, DJ.
How do you cream an oat?
Yeah,
How do you milk a soybean? There's no nipple. I've looked.
I get the term, but
see, when I hear the term oat cream, I think of when I used to.
So it's oat milk creamed.
I
just think of when you used to make get Uncle Toby's oats. You put some milk in them, and you made like the cold just oats and milk, and then you had it was just like that weird gooey texture. That's what I think. Yeah.
Well, they're doing it. The obviously the oats creates a good amount of the haze as well as a lot of hop oils and things like that. But the cream refers to the lactose side of it. So there is a very good argument as to why this is a good name, but I just think it's a wanky name. The ABAC, which is the advertising to children. Don't advertise alcohol to children because you're bad.
Don't call it
people.
Jedi juice.
I saw J Juice for the first time. I saw the new cans with J Juice on it.
So
and it's no Princess Leia anymore.
No, it's slightly altered. Yeah,
it's pretty significantly altered. It's a totally different person.
Yeah, well, I mean, it has to be, but similar style.
Doesn't have the same hair. She doesn't have the Leia.
No, but similar style.
Yes.
Can.
Yeah.
The AB,
bullshit.
Yeah, it is complete crap, complete bullshit. But this is, instead of calling them milkshake neepers, because milkshake is a kid's drink, apparently.
I'm a man that orders milkshakes regularly.
Yeah. Anyway,
salted caramel.
The oat cream name took off in America for milkshake neepers, and it's made its way over here. I just don't like it.
Yeah, okay.
I think the MSG part's great. I like that.
Yeah, and it's a cool can because it's just fucking simple, right? It's
beautiful looking label. Yeah, nice metallic
label. The MSG
label.
stands for Mosaic, Simcoe, and Galaxy.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so it's good little play. I like that.
Oh, and by the way, all this crap on, the beer's excellent.
The beer is excellent. It's nice and it does have a good creamy mouthfeel. Yeah. It's hazy. It's a Nipah.
Yeah.
I do struggle a bit with the old milkshake Nipah or oat cream IPA as they're calling them now. Some of them I find just too sweet.
Yeah.
This is well balanced though. You still get the hoppy oiliness.
Well, the first time I had this can, I actually found this a bit too sweet, but this is settled. This has been sitting in the fridge for maybe a week or two now.
Okay.
So
it's now quite like it's tropical juicy, like fresh squeezed tropical juice where you still get the sweetness of the fruit, you get the fructose, but you still get the tang and the bitterness.
There's a lot of
obviously there's completely different reasons for that in a beer.
Yeah.
So you get the astringency from the pine. You get the pine notes and the astringency from the hops, and you get the sweetness and juiciness. But no, it's lovely.
Yeah, Mountain Culture's just they're killing it.
Yeah, 6.9% as well. Nice big can, 500 ml can.
Did you check the ABV on our fourth and final beer for the evening? Is it a head smasher? Is it 11%, or are we going to go back in ABV?
No. I think it's only like 5 or 6 or 7 or 8.
Okay,
9 or 10. I don't know.
Cool. Next topic, biatches.
Thomas,
I finally finished Ghosts of Tsushima.
You did.
Ghosts of
We still can't spoil it too much.
We can't spoil it.
He's barely
Sorry,
started.
I will.
That's all right.
I will sit down and play it. Now, I'm done with No Man's Sky. They did a massive update and they added a whole bunch of new content in between episodes. After talking about the massive updates, I saw the thing. I saw something on IGN about that, and I was like,
Oh, Pete said he was done. I guess he's back in.
But you know what? I looked at it. I got all excited about the footage that they showed, and they're adding more variety to planets. And there's now sandworms stolen directly from Dune, so you can be standing on a planet and a fucking sandworm will nail you by coming out of the ground and crashing back down. You got aliens stopping in the middle of the planet. All this cool stuff. Beetles. You've got insect swarms, and they've got artificial intelligence, swarming kind of intelligence. I logged in for 10 minutes and went, yeah, it's still the same game though, and there's no fucking point to it. There's no missions, there's no quests, there's no why.
That'll probably be for you. It'll be you'll have one of those moments in 6 months where you're just like, I just want to sit here, put my VR head on, and just completely lose myself. I've got a day off and let's do it.
But then you got Squadrons coming in for that.
Yeah, exactly.
That good space VR experience that is far more focused.
Yeah. And I've got to say, some of the footage I've seen from Squadrons, the beta footage or the pre-release testing.
Can we talk about that little intro cinematic they put out?
Yeah.
That
what it was
so
called?
good.
Escape?
Something like that.
Yeah.
Hunted. Yeah.
Sorry, you were talking about something and I jumped in with No Man's Sky. Yeah, no, I'm going to play
Ghost.
Ghosts.
What were we saying?
He
100%ed
Ghost.
I did Platinum Ghost.
Platinumed it.
Yep.
I love that we invented a word for it.
Platinumed.
Yeah. Well, I guess it was probably always a word.
Yeah.
I Googled.
Yeah, no, it was good. It was it was a very beautiful poetic ending, and I loved it every minute. And I finished it, and I was just like, I was a bit sad. It was like when you put down a good book or finish a really good movie like that, and you're just like, I'm done.
Yeah,
I'm not ready to be done.
Was the attaining platinum trophy arduous in terms of doing stuff that you wouldn't have done otherwise?
I could have gotten that platinum.
Okay.
Yeah,
not shitting on your ability to get the platinum here.
It's
I will go back and get it probably.
It's one of those things. It's like it's quite.
You don't have to collect the 600 feathers on the top of the buildings.
No, so I had the fun thing where I was like, I want to get the platinum. I knew I could get it on just the one playthrough, and I was like, I've got such a big backlog of games that I want to get through. I was like, no, let's just nail this one because you're enjoying it so much as well.
Do it once, do it right.
It'll feel more satisfying to get that ending and get that platinum pop. And then, so I was collecting.
I've always been disappointed. Sorry to interrupt you. I've always been disappointed that the noise you get, the dingle sound, the sound effect you get when you hit a platinum.
The dingle? I'm not sure dingle is a word, but platinuming is. I don't know.
The sound effect from obtaining a platinum trophy should be different to gold, silver, and bronze. And that fucking pisses me off that it...
Who knows if they might update that with the old PS5. Yeah.
I hope they do. Because they didn't between PS3 and PS4.
No.
Carry on.
But I was going through and I was like, I thought I had to collect, so you get these, they call them the vanity items, which are just...
Vanity items?
Your hats, your monkey mask that I got and all these kind of things. And then I realized I'd already got the trophy for it after I'd spent about 2 nights going around and collecting all 59. You only had to get like 20 or so. And I was just like, probably should have read the trophy list. And then I went and did the final bit. And it was just,
it's nice when it's a little end cap. Like it's not a arduous task. It might require you to spend another 2 or 3 hours in the game you've already finished the story. That's a nice way to just kind of bookend the game.
Yeah. But I would have happily gone back because you finish the game and it does that thing with a lot of games now where it puts you back into the world because it's kind of an open world game.
Yep.
But
free roam mode.
I would have happily, if I'd had to go back and spend another 10 hours collecting things, I would have happily done it because it's just such a beautiful...
And the environmental changes and the color and it is...
I've yet to meet a game that makes you spend 10 hours after finishing the storyline just to get a platinum trophy that you would enjoy by the 10th hour. Like conceptually, I get what you're saying, but I've found the grind... 10 hours is too long to spend in a game after the storyline just to get a fucking trophy. This is coming from someone who regularly invests way more than that to get the platinum trophy. It's just too long.
Oh, yeah, you're talking to someone who kind of took it on. I'm on 35 platinums now.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
PlayStation
that's
app told me.
Impressive number.
Lockdown was good to me.
Yeah. I think I've got 2, and I don't know how I got them.
Are any of those 35 those shitty $20 fucking arcade games that take you 10 minutes to platinum?
The what are they called? The Radalika games? No, I haven't sullied myself. I have the game company's called Radalika, and they make those. They make the famous game they make is called My Name Is Mayo.
Right.
Where the way you win the game and get the platinum is you have to click the X button 10,000 times and you're clicking a jar of mayonnaise. It's literally the entire game.
I think developers like that should just be struck from the record. Like, why is Sony allowing them to publish a game?
They charge you $1 for it, but
I don't care if they give me $1 for it.
But they've got
it's still an offense.
So many people have gone and been like, I wanted to get a platinum trophy. I can't be bothered to go and do a game properly.
So now I've got RSI and a platinum.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. But hey, people have to claim it. Yep. It's kind of become like a running joke. It's like that. Well, the Telltale games are like that. They're enjoyable stories, but if you just play through the whole thing,
they are thoroughly enjoyable.
Yeah,
they did
platinum.
Telltale
maybe that's where one of my platinums is.
Telltale
it might be the Batman platinum.
Probably.
The Batman.
If
Telltale.
you finish the story, you get the thing.
Yeah, okay. That would be one of them. One of the two.
They did the Walking Dead.
None of them took any skill, by the way, to get the platinums I've got.
They did the Walking Dead series, didn't they?
Yes.
Yeah.
That was an interactive story.
That's what they are.
Yeah,
that's what Telltale games are.
They've done a Guardians one. They've done Game of Thrones. They've done the Batmans.
The Wolf
That's
Among
what I'm
Us.
watching at the moment.
Wolf Among Us.
Rewatching Game of Thrones.
Saw that the other night. Yeah. They've done Borderlands.
Borderlands, yeah.
No, I will say my proudest platinum is going back and platinuming Battlefront 2.
Yeah, you spent some good chunk of time doing that one.
Well, I was locked down. So
Battlefront 2.
Star Wars.
Star Wars.
You would have had to have gotten to max level on your multiplayer character?
level 50.
Yeah, you were talking about that a couple of episodes ago. Fuck that for a jar of, I don't know, box of sticks.
Triple XP Wednesdays and double XP weekends got me through.
Okay. Is that where you were hitting them?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah,
no, I've been there and done that, so I can't give you too much shit. But
it was the trophy that got me, which took me the longest, was you had to, as a fighter, so an X-Wing, you had to shoot down hero ships. You had to get 25 of them.
Yeah, wow.
That took forever because
you got to wait for people to bring in hero ships.
And then you got to be the one that nails them.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to get the killing shot. And so many people, I would be like, I've got this guy. And then some little fucker comes in. And just
with one shot.
Yeah,
you've done 99% damage.
Yeah.
Fucking, yeah.
But I got it. I remember Emma was like, she was mid writing a paper and she stupidly had taken the headphones off. And all of a sudden, there's just like beer on the roof, and I'm just yelling. And she's like, she turns around, she goes, "Did you get it?" And I'm like, "I got it." Like,
that's how you know you need to marry the girl.
Oh yeah.
When there's that enthusiastic support from the girlfriend for you to do something.
I think she'd heard about it enough.
It was probably relief. Oh, thank God I don't have to watch this fucking game anymore.
So on the Star Wars side of it, Squadrons.
Yeah, I'm keen.
Badass. And arcadey enough to be fun to play for 10 minutes.
Also,
and
the first person
enough.
view looks so good.
What do you mean view? It's the only view they're allowing in the game. It's cockpit or nothing.
Yeah,
is it?
I think the TIE. Yeah.
I think no third.
I can read that.
The TIE fighters, you're going to struggle in the TIE fighters.
Yeah.
Because it's such just a fucking circle window.
Imagine if you can look up through those three little slots in the roof.
It's a rocket with a couple of lasers. They're shit. They're not aerodynamic. You point them at the thing and you shoot.
It's mainly space battles. They're great in space battles. See,
they're quick and maneuverable, and it sounds like they've spent a lot of time doing the balancing, getting it balancing right.
Have you guys read the X-Wing
that's a
series?
really good beer. I'm sorry,
the Rogue Squadron.
No, but that was actually going to be one of my questions because I'm almost finished Imperial Commando.
That's old school, isn't it?
Fucking heartbroken, and I don't know whether I should go on to Karen Travis's next or her other series, which was Legacy of the Force, or whether I should read another different one.
Rogue Squadron's old school.
Yeah,
like 90s.
It's Legends. Yeah,
yeah. I have read them,
but it's set
when I was a kid. Like
it's set at the
20-something.
post Jedi.
Yeah,
post Return.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I was saying to Dan the other day because I have not read a Star Wars novel for a long time, and I haven't read one since they recanonized some and then decanonized a bunch. And before there was a Legends, I was reading them, and I read maybe 40 or 50 of them.
Yeah.
Well, Legends has only come in since Disney bought it.
Yeah,
everything it's in pre-Disney. Everything,
but it was always
canon.
We always accepted when you were reading the books. You always accepted that it probably wasn't canon for a lot of the story.
I always accepted it as a canon.
For your average Joe, it wasn't because they didn't know it. But I mean, it was always canon.
Yeah.
All that stuff was all.
That was
canon.
all. It was all published by Lucas.
Yeah.
In fact, I remember at the end of
all the LucasArts games were all canon. And they've all been made Legends
early
now.
high school. We had the Scholastic book magazines. You could order books at school.
Yeah, I remember the ones.
That's a really long stretch, but yeah, it was like 20 years ago.
It was the six little pages back to front. And you had like there were three or four different ones.
Oh, really?
You got like a periodical. It was once every month or once every quarter. They would.
Yeah, once every quarter. The book club.
Scholastic book club. So it was
I
a Scholastic book club.
I don't know whether I'm just remembering this because you're saying it or whether I actually remember it.
It was just literally, it was like a paper catalogue and you could order the books and put in your money order and they would send you the books. And I saw it was after Phantom Menace. It was Young Jedis. It was like a teen novel with big text and it was only like 60 or 80 pages with like 14 or 16 font. I bought the whole fucking series because as much as they were short reads and they were shitty, it was like reading a comic. And it was literally like a 32-page comic, right?
Yeah.
It was short story, interesting, punchy, quick, not too complicated. And I read all of them. So when I say I've read 50 Star Wars novels,
that took up a good chunk of them.
At least 20 of them were, like 30-page kids' books. But no, I have read Rogue Squadron. Carry on.
So am I doing Rogue Squadron next?
It's worth it. It's a good read. It's I'm pretty sure
and the Mon Moth
it gets pretty technical as well. Like it's definitely written by someone who has either some sort of Air Force experience or has spoken to someone in the Air Force because the way they talk about the way they fly the ships. Because this is the thing that's always annoyed me because I read them well before, like I played the Rogue Squadron games back on 64 and they were so good. What was I remember getting the cheat where you could unlock the Naboo Starfighter on the 64. It was so good. It was unstoppable. But they always talk about how easy it is to disable a TIE fighter they talk about these books about how easy it is to disable a TIE fighter because no shields. And it's like one or two blaster shots literally rips through the wing and then they're fucked. But you see all these games now where it's just like TIE fighters just taking as many hits as an X-Wing. It's like, no, that's not right. It's never sat with me right ever since.
It wasn't like that in the original X-Wing game on fucking 386.
The thing was, you didn't have a strong TIE fighter. You had a swarm of TIE fighters against one strong X-Wing. Yeah.
Finish your beer. If you want to get completely out of that world for a little while, but stick within gritty science fiction, I would strongly recommend reading the first Horus Heresy book from Warhammer 40k.
One of our friend's husbands still plays Warhammer every Wednesday or Thursday night. And I was talking to him a couple of weeks ago because I was talking Imperial Commando or Republic
and
Commando.
You and I were talking about this last week as well.
And I put two and two together after you were mentioning it the other week that was the same series that he was talking about.
Yeah,
and he spoke very highly of it as well. So
I got two same for me to read 6 400 to 500 page novels back to back in the same universe.
Well, that's where our conversation was the other night. Yeah,
but as standalone novels and stories, and even the trilogy books, because there's quite a few in the Horus Heresy that are written as trilogies. They are really well written. They are interesting, intricate, and they have their own atmosphere about them. So you might follow a particular chapter of Imperial Space Marines for a trilogy, and then you'll move to a different chapter, and there's a totally different atmosphere and aesthetic to even to the way that they speak to each other, how engaged the chaplains are, so how religious the order is, or the legion was at the time. They're not chapters any back then, I guess. They were legions. They've created quite an interesting, intricate world. It's just a shame that the actual board games just turned into a pile of shit.
I always felt bad because I never got into it. My older brother had the Wood Elves Warhammer, not the 40k, but yeah, it was just a love. Like I'd take the guidebook he had, I'd just go read that, look at pictures. It was great, but I never got into the painting or the putting the sculptures.
Also, same with Space Marines, and I mean, anyone who's listened to some of the very first episodes of our podcast back when it was Bounty Hunter Banter would probably have heard me talk about my Dark Angels army, and I've still got like a 6,000 point army, but.
I'm going to go and watch
boxes.
I'm going to go and watch this guy play. Chris is his name. I'm going to go and watch him, not this Chris, but another Chris. I'm going to go and watch him play one night because it really does interest me. I just like to, like he calls it. He said it's called tabling when you like completely destroy every single unit somebody else has got on the table.
It's a term stolen from 8-ball and 9-ball pool.
Oh, okay.
When you table somebody, you finish the game from the break.
When I was living in Bondi, I used to walk past on the way to the shops. There was a Warhammer store.
Games Workshop.
Games Workshop store that's still in Bondi Junction. And I used to go to be able to walk past it. And every day I'd just kind of walk in and just be like, wouldn't walk into the store, but I'd walk past it and just like watch, and they'd be playing in there.
Yeah.
And it was fascinating to watch.
Yeah.
Brad
plays as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've just always found problems with some of the people that I meet in those kind of spheres that are just, they don't know what to do with their anxious energy, and it comes out of their mouth. And I just don't like being around people that are like that. It's a personal choice.
Yep. That's fair.
But the game itself, the mechanics are brilliant. The thing that's fucked it for me for Warhammer 40k is they needed to make more money. So they created a period of time, and there was a bit of a crossover, but they created a period of time where they went from the 40,000th, it was called Warhammer 40k. It was the 41st millennium. They were telling stories of the 30th millennium where the Horus Heresy occurred, where the breaking of mankind occurred, and a whole bunch of interesting shit happened. They were writing books about it. That was fun. And then they said one day, all your miniatures from 40k, yeah, we're not selling those anymore, or you can order them. You can still buy them. No one's going to play that game anymore because we're now going to release the Horus era miniatures with their shitty tanks because the tech's 10,000 years prior to what you're used to. And I just went, no.
So what they nerfed their own game?
They relaunched their own game 10,000 years prior in the universe, and so the tanks aren't as futuristic. They're kind of retro tech.
Why can't it all just exist? Well, I guess it does.
Well,
the people that have them still play it. So.
But I see their launches because I still get their email spam. I've never turned their, I've never opted out of their spam, and it's just like I've got no interest in that thing. It just doesn't appeal to me.
Yeah, I still get Blizzard.net emails. They're always fun.
Yes, why actually?
It's like, Diablo 2. How are you?
So World of Warcraft released a new, or they're just about to release another expansion.
Yeah,
they're over a decade of a video game still running.
Insane.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah.
And they're still
re-releases, and
they're
like
studying them at university.
Yeah.
So and they have been for a long time. When there's economics university classes that study the microeconomy inside World of Warcraft,
and
it's mind blowing.
Nobody's ever been able to mimic it. As
Lots of people have tried
anywhere near as well as what they have. Like I've never played it, but
in fact, there was
ever been able to do it.
World Health Organization. This is quite topical at the moment with pandemic. Have looked into the spread of their accidental virus that they built for I think it was, I was there for it in real time. It was a Halloween patch where they created this blood virus, but someone fucked up in the how easy it was to spread, the infectiousness
talking about
in the video game,
digital blood virus
inside the video game.
Yep.
And so the idea was you vomited blood and you died, and you infected people around you, but someone put a 1 instead of 1,000 or something, and it just infected fucking everybody. And I've got screenshots of my character, and you were in rivers of blood. There was just the entire ground in most cities were just blood. They ended up rolling the patch back because it was just it was crashing the servers because there were so many particle effects going on in everyone's screen at the same time. But they've done studies. Well, WHO did studies on the infectiousness and how, because again, in the game you fly into the city, but you fly into the city on the back of griffins. So it's just like air travel, and how quickly it took to spread from the first guy to come in with the infection to everyone else around him in the city. You had NPCs dying. You couldn't fucking interact with the video game. You couldn't get quests because all the NPCs kept dying.
Actually, that reminds me, you'd enjoy this. So Emma's
non-player characters for those who don't play games.
Or national police check, because Emma's going for a visa, and as part of it I have to do my national police check because it's de facto. And every time I had to look at it, I was just like, so I get a quest to go get checked out?
You have to go and talk to the NPC? You going to get that last beer?
Yes,
okay.
I am.
Pause, because I need to pee.
Okay, pausing. And we're back. And I have podcast cat.
You're going to do your...
Clippy clappy.
I don't need to now. Really, we should be like cutting the clap out, but we keep integrating it in. I got the hiccups now into the show.
We can tell our...
You can have...
They can surely tell our professionalism if they're...
have a podcast cat's asshole.
Yeah, lovely.
Anyway, so we're back.
We are back.
My face isn't even on the camera because it's too close, but that's all right. Can you fuck off, please? Next topic. Or we're going to talk about this beer. Let's talk about the beer.
Let's talk about the beer.
What are we drinking?
This is from Wolf of the Willows, who are based down in Victoria. It is a collaboration between themselves and, that's small, Mork Specialty Hot Chocolate.
That's what she said.
Which is a cacao artisan.
A cow artisan.
Cacao.
Oh, cacao.
As in the bean.
Cocoa.
All right. Fucking hell.
There is an A on the end.
Nah, it's not. The O's on the end.
I don't know what he's going on about.
I'm really confused. Maybe I've had it wrong for the last...
Yeah.
It's possible. I'm wrong all the fucking time. That's why I date women, to tell me when I'm wrong.
Okay. I was wondering where that was going. And also, it looks like Dot, which is a cakery down in Melbourne. I love that. I'm going to turn... That's my new term, cakery. This is...
I plan to open a cakery when I retire.
Get thee to a cakery. So yeah, Wolf of the Willows. They used to be distributed by the guys from Square Keg, actually, who do Fixation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then they were like,
We've had a few Fixation Brewing.
But yeah,
maybe we haven't on the show, actually. I don't think we have on the show.
But they, a little while ago went, fuck yeah, we can do it ourselves. And good on them. They're 100% independent, which is nice. Actually, yeah, all the beers have been independent. I was a bit worried when you said that at first. I was like, oh, God, did I actually do that right?
I just took a wild guess. Seems you showed me beforehand, but I was pretty sure they all were.
You can almost tell because they've all got really nice artwork. That's usually a sign.
Non-standardized?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Cacao.
Oh, Tom.
You were right. According to you. Cacao. Said by the most annoying guy
Some
on
weird
earth.
dude.
Yep.
So this is the Wolf of the Willows. It actually tells you how to say the name. Kanelbulle, Swedish cinnamon bun nitro brown ale.
I'm fucking excited.
Where's the little camera?
I had a Swedish cinnamon bun.
It has a lovely little picture of the Swedish chef.
Let me tell you, the Swedish cinnamon buns are not that small. If I went back through my phone and found one, it's literally the size of a fucking dinner plate.
Yeah, wow.
So he says,
Please send me a picture and I'll put it up on Instagram when we post the episode.
This is inspired by our love of the SOT Swedish cinnamon buns. Organic.
Sorry, what?
SOT Swedish cinnamon buns.
I'm often inspired by SOT, sweet cinnamon, Swedish.
SOT, sweet. It's SOT little.
SOT with an omelette on top?
The O that's yelling at you.
Yeah, okay. That's the omelette, yeah.
I thought you'd like that.
Yeah.
So it's got organic cinnamon, cardamom, vanilla pods, lactose, and Mork cacao nibs. Create a pastry brown ale bursting with flavour, nestled in a buttery, pillowy nitro Swedish hug.
Swedish hug, yeah.
And it's got a wonderful image of the Swedish chef from the Muppets on the front.
Can I see, please?
Hey, burk.
I'm surprised they're not in trouble for that because that is very much Swedish chef.
Here we have the squealy stew. Here we have the podcat stew. The podcat in the pot.
Have you shaken it?
You've heard the Adam Hills joke on this, haven't you?
No.
So in Sweden, they call the Swedish chef the Norwegian chef.
Yes, I think you have mentioned that. I think you've mentioned that on the show, actually.
You probably have. Here is a dinner-sized Swedish cinnamon.
Yeah, wow.
Bun. It's fucking huge.
Yeah, they look huge.
Yeah, that's a full-size dinner plate.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I think the best.
Can you send that to me on the podcast on the chat?
I think the best way to do this actually, and this will be kind of fun to do.
Oh, and I even have the stacks of them in the window. Yep.
To instruct how to properly pour a nitro beer.
Please, in fact.
Why you've got 17 different cameras on here.
In fact.
Am I looking at camera 1, camera 2, camera 1? So many Wayne's World references can be made now. So there is debate, I guess you would say. Gently shake the can.
Invert the can.
I give a good shake. You
Vigorous,
really want to give a
shaking.
good shake.
I have white carpet. Please be right.
And then crack. I always look at that.
That's all right. It actually went on the table.
I called it.
I'm hoping you don't have Corona.
Nah, I'm all clear. But then you get lovely.
The cascading Guinness style. That's lovely. This is the power of video. Except for anyone just listening to it on iTunes, it's just going to be long silence. Sorry. It's good advertising for our YouTube channel, though, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I dodged the carpet.
I can smell the chocolate from here.
God, I'm good.
Is there any left in that can now?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay.
Probably, yeah.
So just going to...
I'll get a tea towel.
No. No, you stay there. I will get you something to wipe it up with. I'll get you a gilt quilt or a spankerchief.
Spankerchief.
If you come out with one of your old socks, I'm going to be so annoyed.
It's going to be those boxes with the ball so cold.
No one heard that, though.
I know.
Which adds the mystery.
A little in joke.
Here's an episode title for you. Boxes with the balls removed.
Anyway, sorry. I was taking a mouthful then. That's definitely cinnamon. Yeah. It's not a really nice brown ale. Like, it's really...
That's the gilt quilt.
It's got aloe vera in it.
I can smell the aloe vera. It's quite nice.
Oh, overpowering the beer.
It's not aloe vera.
Is it lemon?
It's probably ylang ylang, or however you say
lemon fresh.
No,
my lemon. I can't do that.
Lemony fresh. That was the end of Spaceball. Was it Space Jam?
I was doing fancy.
Space Jam?
Space Jam with the fucking...
You know they're remaking that with LeBron James.
No.
They've been saying that for years. They're not doing it.
They're not, you don't reckon they're doing it?
Can I have some...
They're probably not. Well, it's probably one of those movies they could do with Corona at the moment.
Yeah, well, I have noticed, I was going to say it before, we haven't really talked much about movies, and that's because there's nothing to fucking watch at the moment with...
Well, yeah, Black Widow got pushed back.
Coronavirus.
Only a little bit more because it's 6%. Yeah, that's fine. Thank you.
Coronavirus has kind of fucked Hollywood. And we're not quite... Like I think I said last episode, if it happened in 10 years from now...
Yeah, you did, yeah.
We wouldn't have any impact whatsoever.
That's really nice. I think it's lacking a little bit on body because of the nitro, but the flavour's definitely there. It tastes cinnamon and really biscuity and oaty. Some
oaty on the nose.
Yeah, the spiced ones, especially cinnamon, nutmeg, and that can go overboard where it's just it becomes like overpowering. But that's really nice balance.
It is really nicely balanced.
The brown malts come through really nice. They're probably English base malts, really biscuity. It's really nice. Really nice.
It says on the back.
So I get a lot of
does it actually say what they are?
I don't think it does. But it sounded like they added the pastry to it.
Yeah.
You do get the vanilla sweetness. You get the cinnamon bite. It's just a little bit of spiciness at the back of the palate.
I had the rep from Mismatch. The new rep from Mismatch came to say good day.
Yeah.
And they made some... I was thinking the other day, one of the best beers I've had recently... Well, in the last year, one of the best beer... Well, consistently best beer I've had. They did a New England lager. And I don't know why, but I just fucking loved it. I bought a case.
That sounds interesting. Lager?
Yeah, it was really good. But they were talking about... I've got one of their latest ones. They've rebrewed one of their Gabs beers, which seems to be a bit of a fashion at the moment. They did their Negroni IPA again.
Yep.
And I love Negronis. I love IPAs. So I was like, perfect. But he was talking about how during lockdown, they had a business that was pretty close to them. They used to use for the pizzas at the brewery. Went into shutdown and weren't really producing pizzas for sale. I think they were more of a wholesale company. So they got them to make a whole bunch of pizza bases that then they just tore up and put into a pizza beer that they made.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which
we've had oregano-based beers before. I don't know how you'd get...
But this is more talking about the base and the starch base.
I get that.
And he was like, it was interesting enough on its own, but once you had it with a slice of like margarita pizza, it just blew up.
Complementing.
Yeah.
We've talked about, and wow, season 1, I think we interviewed...
I remember that oregano beer. That was weird.
It was weird. That was only a few eps ago. That was this season, I think, season 3 of the podcast.
That was back at your old place.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who did we interview, Dan? One of your mates. The doc. We interviewed the doc who was making tonic, which was a wheat
That was
beer.
at the Mario Kart event or something.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
The World 8 launch, where we did a live recording for Bounty Hunter Brewing. So we interviewed the Doc, and Doc Mays.
I remember that. Well, I remember saw
Doc
that
makes
then.
was making a beer. Has he made any beers recently? I haven't seen anything from.
I think he does some stuff with the Wheat Sheaf. He's pretty close with those guys down in South Australia.
Yep.
He
He
does
stopped
some
brewing
stuff
his
with
own
them.
beer.
Yeah, he's a busy man. He's a busy man. He's a super intelligent, busy man.
Do I even dare ask what he's doing? Is it beer related or is it just life related?
Secret government stuff.
It is kind of secret government stuff, so I'd
Okay.
probably rather not say.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not super secret government stuff, but secret enough government stuff.
So he was making tonic, which was a very light, full-bodied but light wheat beer that you could drink by itself, and then you mix it with gin.
Yep.
And it was before I ever got into gin and tonic, which really bothers me because I never really appreciated
I love
the flavor
it.
profile.
I drank tons of it.
Yeah.
Tons of it.
You talked about it. I remember you talking about it.
I miss doctor's orders.
Yeah, it's all
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he had the best
really-
fucking artwork too. It was just so fucked up in a non-fucked up kind of way.
Yeah, well, all the glass and the colours were always the same imagery, but just slightly different colour. And
Let me ask you this. What color does Squid Ink make beer?
his Squid Ink one,
It was a bluey purple, wasn't it?
Well, it depended on what part of the run you got it from. So the very first ones I think were really quite grey and black.
Yep.
And then towards the middle of the run, they started to get bluey. And then towards the end
For a
of the
second
run,
there, I
they
thought you were
getting
talking
greeny.
about when you like inked the squid. Like what part of the run you got the?
Oh, no,
like,
no. Oh,
yeah.
sorry.
Just a bunch of squids just hanging up there. Just
The packaging run. The packaging run. No, yeah, not milking squids, literally hanging from clotheslines or something. No. But then he saved one for like 2 or 3 years. He saved a 20-litre keg, and at the end of it, it was when he poured that at his like the 5th birthday or something. It was like fluorescent green.
Yeah, wow.
It was crazy.
Because
I've
I
never seen
do
a beer
remember
that
there
colour.
being a color variation. I think we've talked about it.
It was this beer color. So Ben Miller is one of my friends. He's a very, very good, very, very good commercial and home brewer. He does commercial stuff, but he does a lot of homebrew stuff. So these are the two sweet sours that he just did. So that's boysenberry, and the other one is blue. It started off blue. Nobody can see these.
Hold it up to the camera.
Oh,
can see us all.
no, that's his home brewery. I don't want to show anybody that. Seems I've now named him.
it's literally just a bunch of mice in wheels. That's what it's made from.
I was going to ask you. So generally speaking, what color is Squid Ink? When if you add it to a food or a beverage, what color does it typically come out?
Blue, I'm pretty sure, like ink blue, like proper ink blue.
So I was having a debate. It wasn't an argument. It was quite good natured. That the something the girlfriend mentioned the other day. It was just a random question. I don't even know what the fuck we were talking about. She's like, "Do you know what the only edible object is that makes food blue?" And I looked at her and I said, "What?" And she said, "Blueberries." I went, "Yeah, that seems kind of obvious, but I've got a second one for you."
Blueberries don't make it blue. Blueberries make it like pinky purple. Blueberries aren't actually blue.
Well,
The skin is blue, but when you actually use the juice of it, it's not.
I said to her, "Well, I've got a second one for you, and it's Squid Ink because it is a food grade product, and you can add it to food or
'cause-
beverages, and I'm fairly fucking certain it's blue."
P-Blossom makes it like a bluey purple.
We had a good natured argument about it, but we never resolved it. So I was hoping you guys could get me in trouble. Because if
there
I'm
you
right,
go.
then I'm going to be in trouble.
No, you are right. It's probably not the only thing. Just let me find.
I found a sound it makes.
Yes, we have upgraded our equipment. Well, I don't know if we upgraded. We side graded our equipment.
You're getting
And
slightly pissy there, Peter.
yes, well,
He hasn't eaten.
I hasn't eaten.
The boy's hungry.
I did explain that earlier.
I can't find a good picture of a blueberry. There you go. There's one. It's
I think we've all seen a blueberry.
no blueberry beer.
Right,
So it's
that is very purple,
it's
like it's a burgundy color.
Yeah. That's the color the blueberries turn
Yeah, okay.
stuff.
Right.
It's the concentration.
What's a Ribena berry?
It's purple, isn't it?
Yeah.
Blackcurrant.
Yeah.
Is
it?
blackcurrant cordial?
I'm sure it is a blackcurrant.
Yeah, it's blackcurrant. Yeah. It's the concentration of the color in the blueberry skin that makes it look blue, but it's not
Right.
actually blue. It's purple.
So wow, I wasn't just right that it's a second. I was right that it's the only.
Oh, you're really in trouble now.
No, because that blue. So I will now show you the post green beer that had this. Let me find.
You're
out.
going to send it to me, and I'm just going to put it up
No, I can't.
because it's at your mate's house.
Yeah. So I'll tell you what he actually put in. He put in.
Thoroughly enjoying the cinnamony. And that's the prevalent flavour towards the end of the beer too. It's just cinnamon.
Blue spirulina.
Spirulina.
Yes.
Okay. Is that a flower?
It's a algae, I think.
Yeah. Okay, that makes
So
sense.
he added more of it to the keg, and it
that's
turned
a blue beer.
It turned that green one that blue.
Surely you can.
See, I'm just having horrible flashbacks.
You or I can
to,
crop that photo and totally put that on.
Oh, that's just against the wall of his house. I'll just ask him whether we can put it up.
That's giving me horrible flashbacks to one of the Sydney Beer Week events.
It's a very Christmassy beer.
At Frankie's, and the Moondog did the Toxic Avenger 2 years in a row. They added so much blue food colouring that you knew anyone had a taste because they were walking around with a blue mouth.
tongue.
But when it went through you,
Oh no!
it was fluoro green out the other end.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh God, I'm dying. Like, obviously, Frankie's event, so definitely hungover. And then I was like, okay.
And very forgetful of what was consumed the night before.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty religious on my Untapped, so I had taken photos of everything, and I was just like, fucking Moondog every time. And then, but it was like the first day I was like, okay, it's just the hangover. There was everyone had blue mouths. It makes sense, a lot of blue food coloring. But then it was the second day I was just like, oh, hang on. And the third day it was still coming through the system. I was like, am I dying? And then I posted on the CBC on Facebook. I was like,
anyone else pissing blue?
Anyone else is still shitting fluoro green after having the Moondog beer? And like a bunch of people were like, yes, thank God I was going to go to the doctors. I'm glad it's not just me. And I was like, yeah, there was so much blue food coloring in that beer.
Food coloring's bad stuff, man.
Yeah.
But it must, I feel bad for the Frankie's guys
that's
because
one
it
of the
must
few
have tainted
beers-
their lines so bad. They would have had
Plastic
to
lines, 100%.
It's one of the few beers that couldn't claim that they're preservative free just to sell more beer.
You can get,
but Moondog
you can
wouldn't
get
do that
natural
anyway.
blues.
Moondog wouldn't do that
You
anyway.
can get natural colours. Yeah.
They'd love to
Oh,
fucking
I
do
had
that.
someone spout that bullshit at me the other day, actually. We were talking about homebrew and they're like, oh my God, it was so fresh and it was tasted amazing and it was completely preservative free. And I went, really? Are you another guy that listens to the fucking billboards? You muppet. There's only 4 ingredients in beer and none of them are preservatives.
Oh, you'd go on that side. I thought you were going to say they were wrong. There was preservatives in it.
No,
Yeah.
there's no preservatives in
Hops a
fucking
natural
beer.
preservative?
No, but sorry.
Isn't hops a natural
Well,
preservative?
so is honey.
And so is alcohol.
Yeah.
But that's not the preservative they're advertising that they're not adding. They're not,
I'll tell you how they actually get around that preservative off microphone.
okay.
Yeah. It's
Technical beer
interesting.
secrets with Dan. Next. It's on the late night
You know
hour.
what, we're gonna start a Patreon just for all those side conversations.
those little off-air conversations.
You got to pay this much to hear Dan. tell
Have we
his
got a
dirty
last topic, or
secrets.
do we want to end it here? Because I'm happy to end it here. I'm gonna crack a sour in a second, so
I don't think
we can do a 5-beer episode. It's just Dan's driving.
I don't really have anything because I've literally been just working, then coming home playing Ghosts, and then going to bed and doing.
I've been pretty much rewatching Game of Thrones, and I've got to say, I know you guys aren't into You've Got.
No, I've watched I've watched the whole thing.
I have to say,
You two can have a conversation then.
watching it again, and this is
I don't know if I could do it again.
it's the 3rd or 4th time the girlfriend's seen the entire series from scratch.
That's
it's only the
very
second time that I've seen it. She's seen fucking Mandalorian like 6 times.
Yeah,
the series.
I gotta say, I've watched Mandalorian quite a few times.
Oh yeah,
I
season
want-
2's out soon.
Yeah, I know.
I want to watch.
Oh, this month.
Yeah,
October.
Or October. Yeah, fuck yeah.
I want to watch Mando season 1 again.
Oh, there
but
you go. Mando
knowing
can be
that,
our last. The Mando trailer can be our last topic.
knowing that the missus has seen it 6 times, I know I'm never going to be able to see season 1 again in my own house because she lives here. So that's kind of difficult. Game of Thrones, I've got to say, because I was downloading some episodes and other seasons I would join Foxtel just to watch it and then cancel Foxtel again, which I think a lot of people would do.
Yeah, I did that for Louise.
I've got to say the quality of watching it on Blu-ray with Atmos, and I've got fucking when the snow's falling and you got sound effects above you and the speakers above you emanate the sound. It's a totally different experience. And it's for such a complex woven episode series, you pick up so much more shit the second watch through than you didn't notice the first time through.
Are you just going to cut it out the end season though, and just stop it at a high point?
No, season 8 was it was the end of season 7 where you had a zombie dragon breathing fire and melting the wall.
Yes, blue fire.
Yeah.
It burns hotter than orange fire.
It literally does. We all had Bunsen burners in high school. No, I will watch it all the way through. I thoroughly enjoyed that series right up until the end, and I knew Arya was going to do the schmoove maneuver that she did, where you drop the fucking knife and catch it again and then stab them.
Spoiler
Everybody
alert
knows
for
that.
Game of Thrones.
Oh, come on. It's been done and dusted for like 3 or 4 years now.
I don't care anyway. I watched all that anyway. Well, I kind of watched it from afar. Louise would watch it while I was cooking dinner.
How many movies, TV series have you seen where there's knife work in it, where they're held up, drop the
Get
knife,
off
they
your
catch
ships,
it
you
again.
sea rats. There's knife work here needs doing. It's one of my favourite quotes from Lord of the Rings.
Can you say it again?
They do it. It's the most Kiwi orc you hear in the entire thing. It's get off your ships, you sea rats. There's knife work here needs doing. Gets right in there. He's got a little. Yeah, he's my favourite orc. He gets killed 3 times actually though. That's the annoying thing.
Gets killed 3 times just to double that they
use the mask again.
Yeah.
And you just see,
right.
but he sticks out.
I've got to say, so I think it was a supernova 4 or 5 years ago. They had the original nose pieces for some of the dwarves from Weta, and those nose prosthetics were incredible. The detail, the individual pores cut in, it looked real. It was made out of silicone, and it was fucking real.
The makeup work on that stuff.
Weta's
Those
just
movies were
Mind blowing. And Weta have gone on to do a whole bunch of other Hollywood movies now. They've become an industrial light and magic.
Digital.
They what?
Then they ruined the Hobbit by going CGI.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Mando season 2.
Yes.
Before you think
You can crack another beer. I don't have to drive.
you haven't even finished the last one.
By the time you get up to the fridge.
slurry.
Yeah, no, we're going to end the episode with Mando season 2 trailer. It was a kind of a teaser trailer.
I thought it was excellent. It really looked like they'd amped everything up.
It's more Star Warsy. I'm worried.
Yeah.
And I think I said that on the WhatsApp group chat. I'm worried that because the trailer looks so much more Star Warsy, that they're going to lose that whole Western kind of aesthetic.
I don't think so.
Favreau
Favreau and Filoni, they won't lose that. If Filoni can hold that through 7 seasons of Clone Wars, hold that same. It's obviously not the same aesthetic to Mando, but if he can hold true to his vision.
Well, Filoni's actually the way he does his arcs as well in terms of his seasons is very smart, because he always, with Clone Wars, he'd always make the first couple episodes, maybe the first 3 would be very kind of like kiddish is a bad word to use, but like would be focused at a younger crowd. And then so the parents would be like, oh, here you go, watch your Star Wars. But you know that the dad's like, yeah, let's watch Star Wars together. And then the dad would be like, well, it's Star Wars Saturday, so we got to sit down and watch Star Wars. But by that stage, it was actually like a lot more like
adult themed. Yeah.
Oh, and then by the time you got to season 7, that was solely based at the fans. I mean, the first couple of episodes with the Bad Batch.
Yeah.
And there was Wrecker was pretty kiddie.
But
then the other Bad Batch were pretty adult and vicious.
Yeah.
I mean,
you're talking Clone Wars, not Rebels, right?
Clone Wars,
yeah.
I'm still only up to season 4 in Clone Wars.
Yeah.
I really do need to just sit back and go back and watch them. Just smash them out. Because they're only 15, 20 minutes an episode.
Well, and then season 7's finishes with Order 66.
Yeah.
But it runs parallel to
Rebels.
No. It runs parallel to Revenge of the Sith.
Right.
Rebels is set after.
I thought there was an overlapping season between Rebels and Clone.
No.
Okay.
No, characters overlap.
Right.
That made me think.
Yeah. Ahsoka overlaps. Yeah, or Vader.
So, Mando, we had a whole
Rex.
argument.
And Rex, yeah.
We had a whole argument on chat as to whether or not Ahsoka was in the trailer for Mando season 2, and I think we decided she wasn't.
No, that was completely my fault. I was totally wrong.
Oh, I didn't
And
mean
I
to call
said
you
it
out there, Dan.
was-
You didn't need to admit up.
I don't remember her name, but she was in an episode, an Ahsoka episode of...
She's in a couple.
There's going to be more Bill Burr in season 2. You know, in fact, the only thing that was truly disappointing about the season 2 reveal trailer was also learning in parallel they were planning on only doing 4 seasons of the series. I don't like having a time limit. I would have been happy just to be naive.
Yeah, you never know, though. you never know.
Yeah, if they make $1 bazillion, it's Disney. They'll keep milking that cow until the cow's dead.
And Pete, there's now rumours out that Pedro Pascal's quit because he's not getting FaceTime. I say this on video with quotation marks because he's a fucking dude that wears a helmet in his entire life. So
no,
and even if they do, there's 3 other body doubles that do the gun work and the fight work. Like if he wants to be a big bitch,
it would truly disappoint me on a kind of I was going to say personal level, but obviously I don't know Pedro, but he was such a fanboy when he came out on stage during the reveal, and he was talking about how excited he was, and he was over the moon to be cast.
I reckon it's bullshit.
I reckon it's bullshit too.
It's probably just
it's just fucking
sells
people bored because they like
clickbait hype.
Yeah,
it's crap, but I mean it's out there.
But I'm excited for more.
It'd be silly to do it.
I mean, the end reveal at the end of season 1. Spoiler: if you haven't seen it yet, you're an idiot. That's my opinion. Was the reveal of the Darksaber coming out.
Yeah.
Which features heavily in the history of the Mandalorian. So I thought that was a really cool tie into all Filoni's Clone Wars stuff.
Yeah. Massively in Rebels.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
But again, with the Mandalorian.
With the Mandalorian.
So what you're saying is during the day while I'm supposed to be at work, I should be watching Clone Wars and Rebels, and when I'm back home, I need to play Ghosts.
So
that's my life
that is your
for
life.
the next 4
finish
weeks.
Clone Wars first,
yeah,
and then finish Rebels.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I think especially with Filoni's influence, because Filoni, he loves the Clone Wars, like the idea of that, like him coming in and taking control of it was like his dream come true. But like, because it was always just like it was always referred to in like passing, you know. He wasn't a fighter; he was a navigator on a space freighter.
Yeah.
But it was like he loves the fact that he can expand that whole part of Star Wars history that no one else really had the chance to. And so I think he's just really going to throw back so many things that he can. And yeah, the dark hooded figure in the trailer, I really think is going to be the...
I can't remember her name either.
She was the Padawan who actually framed Ahsoka and got Ahsoka kicked out of the Jedi Order. And with Ahsoka being confirmed, it'd be a great thing to have them come back. And
that would be a cool interplay between those two.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, and Ahsoka's getting the next TV series, so we were saying that she'd be the antagonist in that.
Oh, they also... Completely different topic, but it just made me think of that. They cast Miss Marvel for the Disney Plus series.
They did, yes.
Yeah, completely no-name actor.
Yeah.
New face.
Okay, good.
Which is going to be great.
Yeah.
But yes.
Can't be any worse than Anakin.
No. Well, this is one thing that
it wasn't the first movie he was in, but it was pretty close to.
As I was watching the end of...
It's working.
As I was watching most of Clone Wars, I was messaging Tom and going, how can an animated character be, in quotations, more animated than a human character on screen? So, yeah, Anakin in Clone Wars is great.
And I was having this debate with the missus the other day, and yet the opposite can also be true, where you've had an actor who did such a good job of portraying the fucked up character that he was supposed to portray, that he had real life death threats serious enough for him to not only quit the series, but quit acting. He was a child, like a teenage actor. So this is the guy that plays King in Game of Thrones.
Oh, Joffrey.
Oh, Joffrey, yeah.
So he played an absolute asshole character. He was a monster of a character. He was a twisted,
spoiled little dick,
masochistic sadistic motherfucker who enjoyed torturing the fuck out of people and animals and all. He's a fucking serial killer. Like, he's a sociopath. But the actor got death threats.
Yeah.
And but that's more just people being fucking idiots.
And serious, but he took them serious enough and he got enough of them to his family's home that he didn't just quit the show. They wrote him out at his request. He quit acting. He's done. So, to
get death threats for doing your job so
it's
well.
actually a compliment.
Yeah.
And yet a compliment that's serious enough that you...
exactly.
But can you imagine that all you wanted to be in life as an actor? You're a teenager. You've gone through acting school. You're now in a series. You're
biggest
world
series,
fucking famous.
The biggest series ever.
And that's it. And something happens and you just end your career there as a fucking 16-year-old?
Yeah.
What a shitty ending.
Well, but at least he chose that path rather than go down the other childhood star path and
cocaine, sex, and sex tapes, and
go terribly off the rails for it. So at Thankfully, there was somebody in his life, or he made
True.
the right decision. So
He didn't come in on a wrecking ball and do a video clip.
But you know what?
Thank you, Billy Ray Cyrus, because that was a big fuck you to her dad. Carry on.
Billy Ray Cyrus, that is the dad.
Yes.
Miley Cyrus.
Miley Cyrus did it as a big fuck you to Billy Ray Cyrus.
I mean, that's the thing. He does
You sure?
No, I'm not sure. I'm just talking at my ass.
I was going to say, she was on Joe Rogan a couple of weeks ago, and doesn't sound like she's got anything but absolutely great words to say about her father.
Mind you, that video was released, that song and the video clip that went with it was released like a decade ago.
Yeah. Anyway.
I'm sure there was some story.
I think
there.
we're both talking out of school, so
Probably.
Yeah.
Wrecking
She looked
Ball.
great on a wrecking ball, I've got to say.
I've still never seen the video.
Okay. Pete's had too many beers and now he's getting a little horny. All right, let's end the episode
Hit
there.
that little red
And on that
button.
note, thank you very much for listening. And you'll hear from us again in a few weeks.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.